Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm feeling that positive vibe today, Coach Gayle.
It is a vibrant kind of Thursday today.
Did I choose the right color? I have green, a nice, bright, vibrant green.
You know what? I got a vibrant green close to me here. So, and like, we'll start off with let's talk about color. I went and actually changed shirts because I had on a blue shirt. I said, no, I'm feeling like a vibrant orange today. And my granddaughter just called. So I was playing pickleball this morning and I said, 8:12, it's an hour before the podcast. I'm going to go home, feed myself a nutritious breakfast. And normally I'd push it out because, I got to play. That's part of my vibrancy, full of energy and life. And I walked into flow and my granddaughter, McKenna, called. She's 19. She's a college student. She's an amazing young woman. And we had a great conversation about eyebrows, eyelashes. She's going on a cruise. She can't wait for vacation. It's a state wrestling tournament. She's going to go work that with her dad. So all these things.
You had me at wrestling. Most of the other things I couldn't relate with.
I know.
You caught my attention at wrestling. And possibly vacation, but okay.
But yeah, the state individual finals for Michigan are this weekend. And so Nico, my son-in-law, has wrestlers in the tournament and she's working the tables and she just really enjoys that. She was a wrestler in middle school.
No idea.
McKenna was a wrestler in middle school. She
I wouldn't be surprised if Jana is a wrestler at some point or like the high school quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah. that athletic, she loves it. It's who she is. It's identity. But today we're talking about vibrancy. And so anyway, I said, McKenna, what does the word vibrancy? I said, Coach Steve and I are going to do our podcast. It's on vibrancy today. What's vibrancy mean to you? And she said, without much of a thought, highlighters, Grandma. And I thought, okay, well, what color highlighters? And she's like, blue and yellow. I said, I got orange and pink. You just held up one. I know orange is your color.
Orange.
And it's like it sticks out. And so as she's studying, different classes have different highlighter colors for the information. And then she told me this tidbit. Did you know, Grandma, that when you write in blue ink, it stays with you better than if you write in black ink? I did not know that. So
neurological stimulation, perhaps.
Yeah, studying the human psychology. And so, I thought, wow, vibrancy. I know what vibrancy means to me, but I'm on this quest. I just really want to know what vibrancy means to other people, because I believe it's important it's important if it's I'm putting meaning to it, Steve.
Right.
So it's important to me. And I believe there's other women out there that'll be attracted to the vibrancy and the vibration that matches their vibrancy in life. And so we're gonna talk about that today.
Excellent. Well, Gayle, you ask such great questions when we're having our individual conversations. And this had come about a few months ago, where you sort of overlook the landscape of your life and the quality of it and how you're really enjoying the energy. And this word had just come to you. You did some introspective thinking and this word vibrancy came to life. First, it was emerge. And I think that's actually was a catalyst. So emerge is your one word strategy. That's what we talked about in one of the podcast episodes. We talked about, hey, what's one word that's going to allow you to focus and place attention to help you grow and elevate who you choose to be. And I think a very close second would be the vibrancy.
Yeah.
And so this came about. And so we had this really in-depth conversation about you living in vibrancy. Then you asked the question of how great would it feel for other people to live in their own vibrancy as well, however that means to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so you had asked even a better question, which was, how can I make an impact through people so they can live a greater, higher, frequency, vibrancy of life. And so thus you started creating a program around this.
Yeah, it's in the works.
Yeah. I mean, but it's always been there. You know, the pinnacle, like if we're talking about party at the summit of this party is actually being engaged in your program and being in close proximity to you. Like we talk about, like, how does one increase their or elevate their identity? How does one elevate their confidence?
Mm-hmm.
You must add associations to your life that are living at a higher frequency or vibrancy than you are. And that could mean whatever that means for anybody. So just the fact that you're saying, hey, here's how I'm living my life authentically, unapologetically. Look at me. I'm the healthiest I've been in my adult life at 61 years young. I'm playing pickleball up to 3 hours per day consistently, although you've committed to 15 minutes per day. But you know that once you just start doing something, you just continue doing it because you have this thing called momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the greatest experiences that we have live through that momentum. So vibrancy, how did you establish and determine what vibrancy means to you, Gayle?
Oh, I'm gonna look it up in the Webster Dictionary, kind of.
Okay.
Hey Google, what does vibrancy mean? And like simply put, it's being in a state full of energy and life.
Mm-hmm.
Full of energy and life. Oh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Full of energy, because prior to 2018, I didn't have a lot of energy. You know, like I wasn't living vibrantly.
Mm-hmm.
I was living happily, but I wasn't living vibrantly. Energy and life. And interestingly enough, this morning, like not even 15 minutes ago, I went back to Google. I said, hey, what's the opposite of vibrancy? And it, you know, the word, it came out: spiritless, listless, and dull. And I thought, because I've been asking people, now tomorrow I'm having a conversation. I'm gonna plug this now and we can plug it at the end, but I'm having a conversation tomorrow at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time about with people about vibrancy. What does it mean to you? I really want to know. And so in my conversations leading up to that, there are some women who are not able to attend, but I'm asking them anyway. And just like I did McKenna. And some of the responses have been, vibrancy is the glow that humans carry when they are healthy and truly living their best life for them. Balance. I thought, ooh, I love that.
Mm.
You know, how would you, like you just said, how would you rate yourself surrounding yourself? How would life be better if you surrounded yourself with people who have a glow, a glow of healthiness and truly living the best life for them? Another one was vibrancy just equals energy, both high and low. And I had a conversation with my friend Roxy about that. There's high energy, there's low energy, but it's all a vibration. It's all vibrancy.
Mm-hmm.
And then yesterday I talked to my friend Patty, and she says to live our best life, for her husband Joe to retire and for them to live on their own terms. That's what vibrancy meant to her. So I'm just really, like, I'm out there seeking other vibrant minded people who are wanting to learn. Maybe they don't have the level of vibrancy in their lives. You know, there's what does vibrancy mean to you? And then how do you measure vibrancy? So measure your vibrancy in one or two words. What does that mean to you? Does it mean highlighters? Does it mean color? Does it mean energy? Does it mean life? There's no right or wrong answer about vibrancy, you know, but when we ask ourselves the questions, who am I? Who do I want to become? Who do I want to surround myself with? How would me living in my most vibrant life benefit other people in my life, my clients, my family, my friends, all of those things that we can ask ourselves. And then, you know, who do you know? Like once you determine what vibrancy means to you, or what living a life full of energy and activity, if that's important to you, healthfulness, like nutritionally, if you want to be better at your nutrition, find somebody who's good at their nutritional values for themselves. Steve, I've learned a lot from you over the last 2.5 years. I've learned a lot about nutrition. Because why? I wanted to up my level. I wanted to up my game, my thermostat, my barometer from a 70-degree nutritional level to 100. I'm not fully there, but man, did I enjoy making some mushroom sweet potatoes with some egg whites and avocado on top. It's like, wow, that tasted really great today. Why don't I do that more often for myself? Because we fail to plan and prepare and have a mindfulness around certain things. So you want to be better at something, hang around people that you aspire to be at their level at.
Yeah, I appreciate that you went through the extra effort to find the antonyms for what vibrancy is. And, let's just use a word that everybody can relate to at some level, at some extent, which is the word dull. Vibrancy is this energy empowerment. There's this frequency to it. And then there's like the spectrum. Then there's the dull side. Do we know anybody in our own life? Maybe even us, I don't know, maybe it's you that is just living a dull life. It's like Groundhog Day. It's the same thing every day, day in, day out. You don't put much thought into anything. You're walking blindly through your day, through your experiences, through your thoughts, through your beliefs, through your stories. And where do you desire to be? And if you looked at a thermostat, or if you looked at even a thermometer, if you were to stick this thermometer into the room of your life when it comes to vibrancy, where does that thermometer register at in temperature? Is it dull? Is it 60 degrees? Is it 55 degrees? Is it really cold? Is it 40 degrees where you're just living this dull life? Like you don't feel confident. Your self-esteem is low. You don't have any hobbies. There's no sports. You walk home, you get home from work and you kick off your shoes and you find yourself right on the couch clicking the Netflix. That's a dull life for most people. And then you look at the vibrancy spectrum and you say, all right, who's living at a high vibrancy that's going out there and doing things? They're getting out of their comfort zone. They're taking on hobbies. They're doing things that they never thought they'd be doing. They're getting outside the box. And so they're living at a higher frequency and vibrancy of their quality of life. And you have to sort of identify where you're at. Where's the awareness? Like, where are you currently? If you were to, it's sort of subjective. It's like, all right, well, here's where I feel I'm at. Because I certainly know people that are duller than I am. And I know people that are living at a higher vibrancy than I am. Mm-hmm. But what are you choosing to do so that you can be around greater associations that are living at a higher temperature in your vibrancy? Now, you're not going to get to a Coach Gayle Zintek at that level of vibrancy, playing pickleball 3 hours per day and, living off the fat of the land in her RV and coaching people at a high level and doing all these great things and having all this energy and doing lives and, sharing the story and joy of what life has to offer for you. But I'll tell you what, you spend enough time with Gayle in her proximity, you start slowly, incrementally, insidiously start elevating your internal thermostat through your vibrancy, slowly but surely. And then eventually you just start creating this new baseline. It's sort of like a pool. If you think about a pool in the let's say in the springtime, because people are going to be pulling their pool covers off. And when they pull their pool covers off, if they haven't taken the water out, you're going to have this water ring line that's around the pool. That's what the old thermostat was set at. And the water has dropped down. You want to fill that water up. Now you're kind of vibrant. You're like, all right, let's get the pool filled up. Let's get things cracking. Let's get the bathing suits on. Let's go take a dive in the pool. Let's go get some sun. And then you're resetting that water line in the pool every time that you're around people that are living at a higher energy, frequency, and vibrancy than you are.
So I have to throw in there, because we did own an in-ground pool, and there were like, let's talk about taking the cover off. It's not only the water line, but there's a lot of gunk in there. There's a lot of things that need to go through the filter in order to get cleaned out. And that takes time. So when you're around people at a higher vibrancy than you are, it helps to clean your filter. It helps to clean out the gunk, the stories. Like, yesterday talking with my friend Patty, who lives in New York, and she's like, Like, I'm watching you. We're the same age. I like your lifestyle. I like what you're doing. And I'm going to be doing that too. And I can see myself coaching Coach Patty. I see you, Coach Patty. I see you living that vibrant life in the Carolinas, around your grandchildren, with your husband, on the beaches. But see, you're hanging around and you're learning from people that are at that vibrancy and at that level of vibration in their own life, that you can kind of like, you got to rub shoulders with people and just really feel that energy. Like it is an energy.
Well, there's a statement for that. They say, stand on the shoulder of giants. Stand on the shoulder of somebody that's living the quality of life that you want, not from a comparison standpoint, because comparison is going to be a derivative of being unhappy, but from a place of being driven and intentional with how you inspire yourself or motivate yourself. Stand on the shoulder of giants.
It's a good thing you're strong. It's a good thing you're strong and work out, Steve, because you got a lot of people standing on your shoulders to get healthy and fit. That's what I gotta say.
Hey, that's part of the reason why I do what I do, is just to make that impact and inspire people to make their own mind up. I'm almost obsessed with how people make decisions and determine their behavior in life. And part of that is going to be your associations. So then you asked me the question, Gayle. You said, well, hey, Steve, and it was totally random too. I remember I was sitting on the couch. I was working on something on the computer and you had messaged me on a Facebook Messenger. You're like, hey, just curious, what does vibrancy mean to you? And after all of our conversations through vibrancy that we've had to prepare for the impact you're going to make with folks, I never even thought about like, what does it mean to me? It's sort of like it was in my mind, but I wasn't fully present in answering that. And then I answered it, but it was completely universal. Like I just pulled it from whatever resources I had. Like, it wasn't like I was researching it. Like, what does vibrancy mean? And it was expanded efficiency and energy is what I came up with. It was expanded efficiency and energy that ripples. I remember it ripples. It's almost, it translates, it transfers its frequency. So as some people would think of a tangible item like a marker, I'm thinking of something more spiritual, something that is more cosmic. As far as what a frequency is. Like, you just feel, you walk into a room and you feel people in there that have a fantastic vibe. I guess vibe is like a really common word, like positive vibes, the vibe is strong. And that's just a derivative of vibrancy. You feel it. You can't fake it. You just feel a certain level of vibrancy in there. It's not even a fake it till you make it, because if you're faking it, this means that you're not living in the vibrancy.
True stuff. Like my friend Robin had said, the glow that humans carry. And I just picked up on the word glow because we do have an aura. We do have an energy field around us.
Glow. Is that Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling?
Could be.
Now I'm dating myself. Like, that is some old school. Do you remember that? Glow?
No, I don't.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it was an acronym, and it came around like during like the WWE, WWF times. Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. Never watched it, but I heard about it.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Oh, so yeah. That's what we have for you today. It's really all about elevating who you desire to be. Ask yourself, who am I? What do I want? And then the hows will come. Like, just to kind of go back, coaching for me, I'm just like, here I am, Coach Gayle. Well, how did that come about? Because someone said, hey, do you do private coaching? I'm like, oh, well, maybe. What do you want? What do you need? Who you got in mind? And, so for the past 90 days, I've had the honor and privilege of coaching 5 amazing women realtors in the state of Massachusetts. And it wasn't all about real estate. It was really about mindset and heart set, confidence, organization. There was a lot of things that we had conversations about, really digging in. Who are they? What do they want? And how are they going to get it? And so then I thought, well, how else can I add value? And that's kind of when the word vibrancy started to really come into my thought train. And so I leaned into it, and I said, and I'm also coaching with Kevin right now, life on purpose, leaving a legacy. What is the, relationships, impact, and legacy? What does that mean to me? What legacy do I want to leave? And it's really about living my life, inspiring possibilities. Like I feel like when I go back and think, okay, a teenage mom, a longstanding career in childcare, a pretty dang good realtor, high level real estate agent, high level executive with a network marketing company. Like sometimes I have to like stop and say, wow, who's that girl? What does she do? And it's like living my best life is then sharing it with others. And how can I help other people live in the vibrancy and life and energy that they want to live in? And so I'm creating this course, and it launches on 3-2-1 blast off.
March 21st.
March 21st of this year. And so I want to have a conversation though. I believe that that course is going to impact women to live their best lives now, their most vibrant life, full of energy and life, in the areas of relationship, in the areas of their emotions, in the areas of finance, and in the areas of fitness, because I've learned and grown into what I've experienced in my 44 years of adulthood. Steve pointed that out. At 62, which I will be April 4th, I will have been an adult for 44 years, which is my number. So I'm going to live this next year in vibrancy, and I'm going to bring as many people as I can along this journey with me to live that life filled with vibrancy. So more on that coming, but join me tomorrow, March 4th. Let's March 4th into your vibrancy, and let's have a conversation. I want to know what vibrancy means to you. And we've got about, I don't know, I think there's 10 or 11 women that have signed up so far. Just message me on Facebook if you want a link to that. And it maybe a replay. If you can't make it tomorrow and you want a replay, message me, in social media, and I will do my best to get you a replay to listen to, or give you the Zoom link so that you can join us in this conversation.
Side note, don't leverage the replay. Just get there and be present in the engagement of a conversation. Gayle, you've been so generous with your time in setting up a conversation around helping, serving, guiding others with this March 4th talk or Zoom that you scheduled. I can only assume that there's going to be some women showing up to this conversation and saying, well, I don't know exactly what I want, so maybe I'll just wait until I know what I want and then have that conversation. Does someone need to know exactly what they want in order to participate in this conversation tomorrow?
No. And I think what we just discussed throughout this podcast is like, look at, if you're drawn to conversations about vibrancy because you want to be at a higher level, you just don't know what that is, then come be in the proximity of those that are trying to figure this life out. Right? Some of us are just a few chapters ahead of others. There's a lot of people out there that are a few chapters ahead of me in life. I'm just a few chapters ahead of a few, and I'm a lot of chapters ahead of another that haven't experienced life like I haven't been out there in the trenches and and done it. So you don't have to know what you want. That's the beauty of coaching, is to be in the proximity of people who ask you great quality questions that cause you to think. And that's where the growth happens. Your very own awareness through the questions that are asked, that you sit back and go, I really want to understand more about myself in that regards.
I was just thinking that same thing. One of the biggest benefits for showing up in tomorrow's complimentary conversation is going to be that you're going to have much more awareness of who you are. just by being around who's going to be showing up. Observing more of who you are, that's going to be important.
That's right. Yeah. Because becoming takes a lifetime. I have not arrived by any stretch of the word. I have days of disbelief and negative stories and self-doubt, just like everybody else. I just happen to surround myself with amazing people that show me who I am and pull me out of there quicker than if I were to not have them in my life.
True that. Well, I'm excited for your conversation tomorrow with those that are going to be showing up.
Yeah. Raise your hand. Let me know. I got a space for you. I promise it'll be worth the hour of conversation.
Well, I have to say it's been quite a vibrant experience here this Thursday morning.
Full of energy, full of life, highlighters handy, whatever vibrancy means to you. Let's discover and explore that together. And let's go out and make this Thursday a day worth repeating, Steve.
Woo woo! I trust we brought some value to you and had made an impact. So make it a day, as you said, worth repeating. Let's go.
Okay, we're out.